hair. Coming up on Tuesday, and I need a lot smaller hips, so I need a lot bigger hair. But coming up Tuesday night at midnight, we have a brand new Today's Special from Chelsea Scott. We've never done it before. It's hair rollers, but they're really cool and very special. So if you've seen all of my luscious curls tonight, it is True Hair coming up Tuesday night at midnight. I'm Suzanne Runyon, and you're watching HSN, and this is all about making life easier. And now I have what I think is one of the coolest things. Imagine if you never, ever had to physically mop your floors again. You're like, well, wait a minute, they wouldn't be clean. Aha! You do not have the next product from iRobot. I got Tom Weiss here to tell you all about her Scooba. Hi, Tom.
Hi, Suzanne.
Welcome back.
Thank you very much.
So, I think this is really kind of hard for people to get their head around because you'll never have to physically ever mop your floor again.
And there's a couple of benefits. One is you're not doing it, and the second is you're doing a better job with the robot.
Right.
We're all familiar with this. What's in the bucket, right?
Lovely.
All right, what happens? You got soapy water, hot, warm, soapy water. You're going to start the process. You mop the floor one time. You wring it out. Whether this is a sponge mop or something that you're spraying on, it's got a little paper towel at the end. What happens at the end of the day, you inevitably leave a film of whatever was originally on the floor. There's a film of it.
Because you're kind of spreading dirty water around.
No matter how hard you try, unless you're making brand new water every time the mop goes in the bucket, and nobody does that.
Right.
The key, or the two keys that happen here with the Scooba is A, you're not doing it, which is the best part.
To me, that was the #1 reason.
And then the second part is you're doing a better job. Up to 98% of household bacteria is virtually eliminated with the 4 passes of the Scooba.
Is it that high, 98%?
Yes, and that's, Suzanne, and that's even just using plain tap water. Using plain tap water.
You are kidding me.
I am not kidding you. Now, we've made an exaggeration of what you might find on the floor. Here's a couple of keys. It does not get it on the first pass. Don't worry. It's laying down a little bit of solution, whether it's water and vinegar. You can put water and vinegar. You can use just plain water, or you can use the enzyme solution. You'll get a sample of it with the purchase, and you could also buy it off the hsn.com in the future. So we've made a big mess here, and what happens is it's a 4-stage process. You're laying down solution. You're scrubbing the floor, you're also washing the floor, and then you're drying the floor with a squeegee all at the same time. Now, as I said, it does leave a little something behind, but that's to get any type of stubborn whatever down is on the floor.
Right. Now, don't worry. I mean, you'll see this, and you're going, wait, it didn't catch that spot. It will.
Yes.
What you get to do is you hit a button, and you get to go to the mall, you get to go shopping, you get to go have a cup of coffee and read your favorite magazines.
Think about this. If you're hiring somebody right now to come in once a month, once a week to do your floors, generally 50, 70, 80, 100 bucks, 150 bucks, for that type of service. Right. This literally pays for itself, and you'll have it for years and years and years. It lightly vacuums, washes, scrubs, and then it dries the floor all done. And it doesn't use a lot of water at all. It will clean 250 square feet on the single tank.
You're kidding.
It'll clean up to 3 rooms, depending upon the size of the rooms. It will also be able to be reloaded with fresh water and do yet another 250 square feet on the same battery. So you can do 500 feet on a single charge, and you're putting in just a little bit of water, or a little bit of water and vinegar, or a little bit of enzyme solution and water at the same time.
That's brilliant.
So we're going to let this one go. You saw the big mess in the middle. You saw the messes in the corners. The robot is making 30 decisions a second as to where it is with regards to your furniture, where it is in the room, what kind of surface it's working on. It will work on sealed hardwood floors, tile, vinyl, linoleum, virtually anything that's down there except unsealed hardwood floor.
Okay.
If you've got unsealed hardwood floor, this is not the product for you.
Okay, other than that, you're good to go.
Absolutely. It's perfect. It's has a little bumper guard here. When it touches a piece of furniture, touches a wall, touches the another object in the room, your statues.
Yes.
It'll touch that statue, bounce off, and then start moving in a different direction. And not leave any marks or marks on the floor. It's very, very smart.
Okay, so it's working its way. Now we're going to go have a cup of coffee. Not really. We're going to show you another example.
Now here is the classic. This floor looks clean.
Honestly, I thought it was clean.
What's going on?
I really did.
Well,
Looks
this
really
is the
good.
floor that I either clean myself with a mop and a sponge, or maybe you had a professional come in, you paid her 50 bucks, $100, or him, had a professional service come and do the floor.
Right.
Now let me show you what's going on here. Let's take a little peek under the hood. We have the one floor being cleaned right now. You have 2 tanks. That's it. One says clean, one says dirty.
That's easy.
Even the men can follow this, Suzanne. In the clean, this is where you put all your water. Your water and vinegar, or water and solution. The dirty side, what happens is, as this tank becomes empty, the dirty side starts to fill up.
Sure.
You'll see that this tank should be empty, and it is empty. I'm turning it upside down. Nothing is coming out. All right? I'll take this and I put it back in the position. That's all you're doing. You're charging it up. The charger comes with it. We'll show everybody what comes with it. But the charger comes with it, charges up overnight. Hit the power button, and then hit the clean button. And now the robot cleans what you can see, but maybe even more importantly, it cleans what you can't see.
That's amazing.
So this is a clean floor, and this floor will be cleaned by the robot while we're doing something else. Then we'll come back, we'll see if it did a better job.
And now you saw in the last item too that we had, which was of course the Dyson. This is also a price break. Real important to understand too, because this is an exceptional customer pick. We actually have 2 customer picks in a row here in tonight's show. When you read the reviews, people rave about it. Now you got to kind of get your head around the concept. Remember, the stat that so far is stuck in my mind is 98% of repeated.
Household bacteria, that's, you know, typical household bacteria that's found on the floors is virtually eliminated with 4 passes of the Scooba cleaning machine.
Which it will do automatically, and that is using just water.
Just water.
Now, so imagine, you will never get a mop bucket, a little wipey wet thing. You're never going to hire someone to do it ever again. You're going to let some of the really most expensive technology in the world, technology that helps guys get into outer space, mop your floors for you. I mean, why would we want to do that anymore when we've got the Scooba? And also, you always use this great analogy. We don't go down by the river and beat our clothes with rocks and use washboards anymore. We use the washing machine to get our clothes clean. Same concept here.
Absolutely. There's a better way to get stuff clean. You've got a dishwasher, washing machine, same thing. I'm going to ask you to scoot over here. I'm going to grab the black light. Now, over here, there's 4 ways that we're cleaning.
Okay.
We've got a very light vacuum, so you don't have to vacuum or sweep right before, but if something's really dirty, you may want to prep it a little bit. But it preps the floor all by itself, washes it, scrubs it, and then dries it all by itself. It's a wonderful floor.
That's great.
Yeah, that's what you would do if you were doing it yourself. You'd sweep the floor, and you'd get the water down, then you'd scrub the hard spot, and then you would try to dry it in some fashion, maybe with a fan. But you'll notice it really doesn't use a lot of water at all. Here's an interesting, we're trying to demonstrate how effective that the Scooba is. In laboratories, when they're trying to track germs in a lab or they're doing some sort of test, they'll use a product called glow germ.
Okay.
And typically they'll bring somebody in and have them handle some chicken and see what they're, they're grabbing a knife, they're grabbing a handle on the refrigerator, they're touching a light switch, they turn the lights off, they put on a black light, said, you were handling that chicken, and now it's all over the kitchen. Kind of teaches people how to be more safe. So we put a little glow germ on the floor, and you can't see it unless I put on the black light. Now this is going to indicate to me and everyone watching where the bad stuff is. Now you're going to have a little bit of the blue light, but see how it glows there a little bit?
Yeah.
That represents the germs that are on the floor after you're done washing the floor. So if you've got kids and cats and dogs, you're going to have this stuff on the floor.
Which you can't see with the naked eye.
You can't even see with the naked eye. You can see it, there's nothing there, and now, boom, it's right there in the middle.
Okay.
That's a big mess. I'll turn on the Scooba. Excuse me, the Vero. Scooba works in the pool. Turn on the Vero, and it may not get it all in the first pass, but it's working to make it all disappear so the floor is cleaner than what it was when it started. Up to 98% of what was down there is now gone. And not just dirt, we're talking about germs.
Well, you know what? I don't clean my floor that way. I can guarantee you I don't get 98% of the germs and the dirt and all that up. Okay, so here's what we have tonight. Why in the world are you mopping like you used to? And even if you're spending $5 to $10 every couple weeks on buying all those little wet wipey things, this will very quickly pay for itself.
Absolutely.
As you said earlier, if you're bringing in a service, maybe you're lucky enough to have somebody comes in and cleans your house, how much are you spending for that? Well, let this do the job for you and do it much more efficiently than we would ever do ourselves. Love the idea that does 4 jobs all in one. You hit a button, fill it up with water or whatever solution that they recommend, hit a button, and then you walk and enjoy your coffee. And you know what? It's great because time is so valuable today. Wouldn't you rather go do errands or play with the kids or clean that closet out or do a million other things than take the time to clean your floor? And guess what you'll do? You'll scrub your floor more often because you're not doing it anymore. You're letting a robot do it for you.
And I've had the robots. I've had these robots for about 5 years.
Right.
They do an exceptional job. After poker games or parties, the floor is an absolute mess. I'm hitting a button, I'm coming back in a couple hours, and the floors are clean. 98% of any type of bacteria or any type of germs that are down there virtually eliminated. And all I use is just plain water. They don't even want you to put in hot water. Just put in regular tap water.
That's amazing to
inside.
me.
And here's what happens. Let's go have a look. If you missed in the beginning how I operated this system. The handle has 2 purposes. I can pick up the unit just like this, or if I press down on it, it releases it, and I can get at the 2 tanks. As I mentioned, 2 tanks. One says clean, one says dirty. open this one up, as you can see how it's filled with water, and just fill it up. Stick it underneath the tap, fill it up with water, or water and vinegar, or water and the enzyme solution. You'll get 4 packs of the enzyme solution when you order it. Then, when the machine stops after it's cleaned 250 square feet of tile, linoleum, sealed hardwood floor, it will stop and it'll say blink, change out the dirty water. You'd walk over to the sink, open up this part, dump out the dirty water. If you want to do more cleaning, refill this side, fill it up, put it back down. It'll clean yet another 250 square feet on a single charge. Take it back here, drop it in. That's all there is to it. When it comes time to charging, the cable is included. You plug the cable in here, plug it into the
like a standard
wall.
outlet,
Yeah, standard outlet. And then the light will go on when it turns from red to green. You know you're ready to go. When it's time to clean, press the button. Now, if you wanted to go in a straight line for whatever reason, hold down the clean button. If you just wanted to start, it'll start going in a circle. Just press it and release. I'm going to hold it down because I want it to go straight to show everybody that it works on a variety of surfaces: tile, sealed hardwood floor, vinyl. It has also clip sensor technology. It's not, it senses the edge.
That's great.
It also will sense if you've got carpet, too.
So it's not going to go onto the carpet.
Exactly. Then, if you've got, let's say you've got a hallway, and it's attached to the kitchen. Well, you just want the robot to clean the kitchen and not go running down the hallway, but you don't have a door to close. You have the virtual wall. I don't have this one activated because all the other ones will read it. But you turn it on, it sends a beam, and then the robot will stay on the side of the wall that you want it to stay, cleaning the area
so it's
that
an
you want it to stay.
invisible wall.
Invisible wall. It's really brilliant technology. And you mentioned this earlier. I was remiss by not mentioning that the parent company is iRobot. They also make the Roomba. Over 500,000 Roombas have been sold at HSN all by itself over the last 8 years. That's a lot. Their technology has been such that they make robots that go into space, robots that go into battle zones, helping soldiers disarm bombs, looking for bombs, retrieving injured soldiers. Very dirty, dangerous, or dull jobs. That's what they want to do with their robots.
But it's billions of dollars of research and technology that have gone into what's going to mop your floors. Now, really, how do you value your time? Is your time valuable to you? Well, I think this day and age, I would much rather take a job that we hate doing. I do not enjoy mopping floors. I don't like to clean, quite frankly.
Right.
And let's let robotic technology now take that over. Here's what you can do with HSN. Can you get the iRobot and you get the Scooba elsewhere? Of course you can. Here's what you won't get. We have the best price anywhere. I don't care if it's online, if you go to inserts, you go to your local store.
Right.
We have the best price tonight because it's a dramatic price break. This is a temporary drop in price, and I will absolutely guarantee you as I stand here, it will go up in price. Best price not only at HSN, but anywhere at all. We added to that free shipping and handling, and then I got to explain this too, 5 flex pays. For $70, can you imagine never having to physically mop any of your hard surfaces ever again? Oh my gosh, I'm like, that is so worth $70 over the next couple months.
It's absolutely phenomenal. The key being, you never reuse the dirty water as you do traditionally.
Right.
With a mop and a bucket or a sponge or whatever. And then secondly, you're doing a much, much better job. Now, when we started this presentation, this area was a mess. You had big brown spot in the middle, big brown spot over here. You can maybe see that they're still working on this one over here, but there were spots in the corners. Now the floor is virtually clean. Let's see if I have one of these little bowls. Here's what it picked up. You're going to note a couple of things. First of all, it's getting the brown stuff up, and then secondly, there's not a lot of water in the process. You're not making a big, wet, slippery mess.
Wow.
Well, you're getting stuff clean, and that's the key. So if I was done here, I would empty out my dirty water. I would maybe rinse it out one time.
Yep.
And then I would open this up, fill it up with clean again, and I'd go at it again, all over again. Because it can clean 250 square feet on a tank, but the battery is good for 500 square feet, so you can go again. I'll put a little mess down there again, hit the button, and let the robot go to work.
Right, and this is serious cleaning. I really think, Tom, and I'm sure you've run into people who say, Tom, I see you on the air. You talk about these robot things. Do they really work? How often do you get that question?
All the time. Folks are very skeptical. And they, in the beginning, back in 8 years ago, there was cause. Nobody ever saw anything like this. When dishwashers first came out, I'm sure there were folks saying, oh, no, you got to wash everything by hand. And when the horse and buggy folks saw a car, oh, that's never going to work.
That's never going to work.
This is how people will do. Everybody will have these in the future. And this is how it works. It lightly vacuums, then it washes, then it scrubs, and then it dries. Now, it does leave a little light a little like film of just clean water behind,
right,
so that can stay and kind of scrub up any type of hard spots you might have.
Yes, but still, it's virtually nothing. I mean, when that one was finished over there, you didn't see a lot of sloppy water anywhere.
No, that's it.
And how many of you scoot around using, you know, dish towels to try to get your floor clean? You're not going to have to do that again.
Right.
Like, get it dry.
Very, very
But
dry.
here's what we have. We have a very limited quantity. In fact, we only have, with everybody now on the line for it, about 500 left.
Wow.
My gosh, can you imagine? You'll never mop again. Okay, let's get that in our heads. What a relief that would be. And use that time to do something else. And guess what happens? You'll have cleaner floors more often because you're going to be able to push that little button and let this little guy do all the work. Do you know we have people who name their iRobots, which I thought was adorable?
It is adorable.
Because you do fall in love with them almost like a little friendly pet. One other thing, read the customer reviews. I know you're looking at this and saying, okay, that is the craziest thing I've ever seen. I don't ever have to physically mop my floor again. I'm going to let a robot do it. Read the reviews. They're outstanding on this. It is a customer pick, and people are raving about how incredible this works. So yes, now this is your alternative. We give you the 5 flex pay, so you can get it home for about 70 bucks. That's easy. Skip a dinner or two out over the next couple of months, and you'll never mop your floors again. I just think it's wonderful.
It's wonderful. If you've got cats, I've got cats in the house.
Yeah,
I've got
I
dogs.
know. You got a lot of animals out there.
They're running in and out. I know if I just mop traditionally, I'm going to have a film of whatever.